The following is a presentation of TBS Sports.
Tonight, a special edition of TBS NBA basketball. Charles Barkley's been out most of November. His return only adds firepower to a Phoenix team that already has one of the league's best records. That's thanks to the play of newcomers Danny Manning, rookie Wesley Person, and unknown Elliott Perry. For Chicago, Scottie Pippen continues his one-man show. He leads the team in every offensive category. Suns and Bulls next. Come to the Windy City for this special edition of TBS's NBA Thursday on Wednesday. Well, actually, we're a couple of miles west of the downtown area. The brand new United Center, 20,000 plus, have gathered here for the 345th consecutive Chicago sellout, and they're here to watch the Phoenix Suns and the Chicago Bulls. They are also here to watch Charles Barkley, who will get his second consecutive start tonight. He was on the injured list for the first 10 games, started last night in Milwaukee, and will start again tonight. Hello, everybody. I'm Vern Lundquist, and welcome back to Chicago for this really exciting matchup between Phoenix and Chicago. Phoenix comes in 10-3. A victory tonight, they can become the first team to win 11 this year. Chicago back home after a 6-game road trip. They come in 6-6. I'm joined as usual by Chuck Daly, and Chuck, it can only help Phoenix to have Charles Barkley back in the lineup.
Well, here we've got a guy who is an MVP candidate in all categories. He brings everything to the table. He's the leader of this club, and again, an MVP candidate if he can get over the injuries.
Even without him, without Kevin Johnson, they're 10-3. They've had obviously the addition of Danny Manning, but three youngsters have really impacted on this Phoenix lineup: Elliott Perry, Wesley Person, and Trevor Ruffin, and you can see the contributions they have made so far. Surprised by that?
Who are these guys?
Yeah, exactly.
we don't know who they are, but we're finding out, and the rest of the league is. They have been significant contributors to this team and are going to continue to do so.
Well, for the Chicago Bulls, there is no question who is this guy. It's a little early to be casting MVP ballots now, but Scottie Pippen is raising some eyebrows.
Yeah, he defines the position at this in this field, the
number three spot.
The 3 spot. Yeah, he's a guy that he's leading them in points and rebounds, assists, steals, blocks, and minutes, and he can do everything. He has a defensive demeanor, and he can do it all offensively.
Now the Bulls are hampered just a little bit in the middle. We don't think we're going to see Will Perdue tonight with a broken nose.
They've got some other people. Kristoliak, questionable. They're trying to make do up front until they get some of these people back and are getting better at it. They'll manage. They'll make it tough on the Phoenix Suns here in this building.
First meeting of the year between these two teams. We've got the 10-3 Phoenix Suns and 6-6 Chicago Bulls. We've also got Fred Hickman and Dick Versace in our Atlanta studios. We'll go to them right after these messages.
Tonight's game is brought to you by Budweiser. For a taste you'll find in no other beer at any price. It's always been true. This Bud's for you. By Lexus, maker of the faster and roomier 1995 LS400. And by
back in Chicago, where one of the tougher tickets in town is a ticket to a Bulls game. Had a cab driver tell me last night, I'd love to go see him, but I can't get ducats. 345 consecutive sellouts. Tonight, of course, in the brand new United Center. It doesn't matter whether it's here or across the street at Old Chicago Stadium. It is a very tough ticket to get. And here are the starting lineups for the Suns. Barkley starts for the second time. He's joined by Marley. Manning starts at center tonight. Person and Perry will start in the backcourt. And for the Bulls, Dickie Simpkins, their #1 draft choice, is the first-time starter tonight. Scottie Pippen, Greg Foster in the center in place of Will Perdue, Ron Harper, and B.J. Armstrong in the backcourt. Paul Westphal now in his third season as the Suns coach. 128-49, 72%. And Phil Jackson in his 6th season as the head coach of the Bulls. Won his 300th game the other night. He's now 301-121.
Yeah, we were talking to Paul Westphal today, and he talked about the fact that he's on the last year of his contract, but didn't seem to be too worried about
funny,
it. I'd have been worried if
you know what I just started to say.
With this club, I'm not so sure.
I just started to say, here's Paul Westphal in his 3rd and last year. And I was thinking.
I knew you were thinking.
He told us, yes, he is in the final year of his contract. Oh, boy, we could start rumors about that. But he said he's not worried about it. It's going to take care of itself. Oh, thanks for bailing me out. It's getting scary. We're reading each other's minds. Paul Westphal, longtime assistant to Cotton Fitzsimmons, and Charles Barkley back. He played 18 minutes last night, 5 points, but 8 assists. And where will he make the biggest difference for Phoenix, Chuck?
Well, where they're going to need him the most is on the offensive board. Right now, they rank 24th in offensive rebounding, getting only 20% of their missed shots back. And he's one of the premier offensive rebounders in the league, and he usually gets fouled.
The officials tonight, Dick Bavetta, Bill Spooner, and Ken Maurer, and Elliot Perry has it for Phoenix. Here's Wesley Person. And Person gets the return pass from Manning. Rebound, B.J. Armstrong. Chicago last played last Saturday night in Utah. They were thumped pretty badly by the Jazz. That shot doesn't fall.
I tell you, when you come off the road like that, sometimes you come back, you have some layout time, practices, and you don't play quite as well.
Barkley, 2.
He loves that shot at the top. He's not a great three-point shooter, shooting about 29%, but at key moments in the game, he will make that point as a make that shot as a three-pointer.
Here's Dickie Simpson. He's guarded by Barkley. Pippen by Manning. Greg Foster backs over Marley, puts it up, doesn't get the roll. The tip is good.
Now, that's a tough matchup for Marley. Foster on the post, but Marley's a big, strong kid and seems to be more comfortable playing inside. I think he likes the lineup a little bit better. Doesn't have to play the 2-guard.
Barkley goes to work on Simpkins.
Patented step away. One of the best in the league, and for not having played that much, he seems to be in nice rhythm. The great players have the ability to do that. They can miss 5 games, and bang, they're doing it again. Barkley
played in all preseason games. Here's B.J. Armstrong, and the putback by Foster is up and good. Barkley in all 8 preseason. Then the abdominal muscle began to bother him, and this is his 3rd game of the 14 that the team has played, this being the 14th of the year. Kevin Johnson, of course, is on the injured list for Phoenix. There's Barkley. Well, a quick 6.
Well, he did it at the top of the key. Now he did it on the left wing.
Pippen, Simpkins, ball fake.
Transition.
6-6.
Pippen, another assist.
Leads the club in 6 categories, as Chuck said at the top of the program. Here's Barkley. That's the dish and the rejection by Pippen. Pippen is also number 2 in the NBA in steals, as a matter of fact. B.J. Armstrong, good pass.
Phoenix slow, getting back in transition. Both Marley and Barkley on misses, and Chicago is looking to run.
20-second timeout.
Paul Westphal says, let's take a 20-second timeout and talk about this.
At the conclusion of each and every Bulls game, Metropolitan Life
probably the Chicago Bulls said, hey, they played last night. Let's get out and push it early, see what kind of energy they have. Here they're going across half court ball, and here you'll see Barkley and Marley barely getting there. They're going to have to get back in transition, or they could be in trouble in this building.
Dickie Simpkins, the number 1 draft pick from Providence, comes in with a modest scoring average. He's averaging just under 4 points per game, but he had 13 against Utah the other night, thus earning his first start of the season.
Well, playing time will do that. It increases your opportunities.
8-6 Chicago, 9:26 to go, 9:25 in the opening quarter. Wesley Person gets his first bucket of the game.
Phoenix ready for the trap.
Tied at 8. That ball intercepted by Manning from Harper's pass. And Elliott Perry puts it up and in.
Manning, one of the great big man passes in the league. Really, I think he prefers to pass rather than do a lot of other things. He really helps the club become better.
Foster guarded by Manning. That's ball kicked, fresh 24, and they'll take it inbounds. Greg Foster's getting the start tonight. Will Purdue, with a broken nose, might be able to play, but hasn't practiced. He's missed the last 2 games. Kristoviak ready to come back from the injured list. He's out with arthroscopic knee surgery. Luck Longley's going to be out for another 2, 3, 4 weeks. Pippen back to Foster. Marley flies in his face. Foster gets his own follow and puts it in.
Another offensive rebound. That's their 4th. 3 missed shots, 4 missed shots, now 4 offensive rebounds.
Illegal defense called against Chicago.
One of the things that you know about Phoenix, at least in the past, you were always able to score and stay in the game. Paul Westphal, Lionel Holland, Scottie, all working harder defensively, thinking more about it.
Barkley fights for the rebound, gets it. There's the offensive board help you were talking about.
Yeah, he can really, he's easily one of the best in the league. Clears people out. Barkley is now 4 for 5 from the field.
Phoenix up by 2, 12-10, under 8 minutes to go, first quarter. This the second of a 7-game road trip for the Phoenix Suns over the next 13 days. There's another turnover. Here's Elliott Perry forcing it up, losing control. Now Chicago at the other end. Marley and Barkley back. Here's Pippen.
Transition. Barkley was there, back under the hoop. In this game, we're not going to see a lot of shot blocking. I don't think either club has shot blocking ability. So there's going to be a lot of baskets scored in the paint, both ends.
Is that a noticeable deficiency for both clubs that might cost them throughout the season?
Yeah, I think very definitely. I think you go against those clubs who have it. It's a significant factor. They're a great pass by Barkley, semi-drawing the double team, then pitching it off to Manning for an easy 2.
14-12. Phoenix up by 2. Timeout. Chicago. Bill Jackson wasn't happy with his defensive effort then. We'll be right back.
At that time,
it makes it tough. Some days I get up, I don't want to go to practice. But what I'm thinking is, if I don't go to practice, when we play the New York Knicks and I'm not prepared, then I'm in trouble.
that's a job. School doesn't pay you anything.
You're right, but it takes preparation. It takes hard work. It takes all of the things associated with the job. The benefit of education doesn't necessarily come then. It comes later.
Back in Chicago, Phoenix up by 2. Chuck, let's see what caused Phil Jackson's anger.
Here's your isolation. You'll see a lot of that tonight. You'll see the double team coming, and then you'll see eventually what happens. He dribbles, draws the double team from Foster. Very easy basket, Manning, because you did not get rotation by the point guard. Here it is again. He's looking all the way. He's looking all the way. Great pass, wide open. You've got to get guard rotation. He's got to come down from the top to seal off the weak side. You take the chance on the percentage outside.
You say, what kind of a start has Barkley had? Above average. 8 points, 1 rebound, 4 of 6 from the field, 1 assist. And he's been a factor. 6:57 to go, opening quarter. Here's Pippen backing in, the double from Perry. Foster takes the jumper.
I'm not sure that that's the guy you want shooting. He's had about 3. He's been terrific on the offensive board, but to spot up and shoot, you kind of like to have maybe BJ or someone else or Harper, but they're not going to give him those people.
Are you suggesting that play was not designed for Greg Foster to shoot?
The idea was to get the double team, but you've got to get the right guy to shot. Maybe he's a better shooter than we think.
One-touch pass over to Marley. That's good for 3.
Last year set the record for threes, 192. That'll be broken this year, by the way, Frank.
This Phoenix team, there's the shot by Dickie Simpson, up and good. Simpkins. This Phoenix team hitting 41% from three-point range. 17-14. Marley. That leaves Wesley Person open for 3.
What a pickup. Later in the draft than people thought, but he's got one of those NBA strokes that you never could take away from someone.
Pippen tries to counter and does. Scottie Pippen, who's hitting 30% from three-point range. Manning for 2. Well,
very quick shot.
Yeah,
came out of context. I don't think anyone expected, but he had made up his mind when he crossed that line to get the ball to the hoop.
Lead is 5. Foster. That time it goes for him.
Well, he's terrific in the lane. He's done a really good job. That's that guard screen. Comes up into the lane. They'll get that frequently if you don't defend it properly. Here's the isolation again. Barkley's directing traffic, backing down. Who's coming? He's going to be wide open. They'll look to swing it.
There we go.
Simpkins, he didn't play anybody quite like this on the collegiate ranks.
Not even in the Big East. Here's Pippen. That's for 2.
All of a sudden, it's starting to shape up as the Pippen-Barkley show.
As advertised. 24-21 Phoenix. Well, let's see what they've got in mind this time offensively, Chuck. Little crossover dribble. Perry loses it.
Probably should have been a walk. I guess they called the timeout. It's become the thing in vogue to do of late, but it looked to me like he walked on the play.
Time has been called by the Phoenix Suns. 4:31 to go. First quarter of play.
Dominant 7-foot center, top-selling rap artist. Latest album says he dunks on Patrick Ewing. Uh-oh. Knicks Magic, Friday at 8 on TNT.
This program is authorized under rights granted by the National Basketball Association solely for the entertainment of our audience, and any publication, reproduction, or other use of the pictures, descriptions, or accounts of this game without the express written consent of the National Basketball Association is prohibited.
1 second more than 4.5 to go first quarter, and already a 24-21 game. Phoenix comes in with a high-flying offense, second in the league in points per game behind Orlando, and they're very adept in other categories, Chuck.
Third in the field goal shooting percentage, third three-point field goal differential, 5.5. In this game, Phoenix shooting 73% and Chicago shooting 67%. Phoenix 8 of their last 9. Chicago's going to have to toughen up defensively.
Boston leading by 5, Orlando up by 6, Charlotte rolling over Miami in the second, and Cleveland up on the Lakers by 15. Los Angeles was let down by 16 against the Nets the other night.
8 to go, and
yeah,
we're able to pull it out. Paying tonight.
The Bulls' personal foul. B.J. Armstrong gets his first.
B.J. Armstrong picks up the foul, and that's going to send Charles Barkley to the line.
Looks as though Charles is playing very much under control, not pushing his body, probably a little bit concerned. I think guys come back from injuries like the back, serious kinds. They take it pretty careful. He's not extending himself. I don't see him diving on the floor. I don't see quite the activity around the offensive board, but his offensive efficiency. Evidently, while he's sitting out, he was doing some shooting. You don't retain that kind of touch.
Well, he said he may now, at the age of 31, Chuck, have to be satisfied with 35 minutes a game and not diving after loose balls.
You know, and I think Paul Westphal will be happy with that because he's got a very deep club and he's able to get other people minutes.
Ah, how deep is it? Well, they've got 9 guys averaging in double figures. That's how deep. They're pretty potent offensively. One of those 9, of course, is KJ, who's on the injured list right now. Manning in person and Marley, and oh, what a pass. Hello.
Manning, he's got great vision. You know, he's one of those guys we talked about. Looks like he could play in a tuxedo sometimes.
he might be a candidate for a figure skating show.
You've done a few of those.
Yeah, I have. Pardon me while I confuse a double axel. Here's Manning. Very nice, and he'll shoot a free throw.
Yeah, looking for the long pass, running out, having the strength to get it up. Not a particularly strong physical player, rangy, but has enough to get this one. Barkley, another assist. Looking ahead. Phoenix does this so well, that's why they average 112 points a game.
Tony Kukoc.
Tony Kukoc comes in for Dickie Simpkins. There's Barkley's reaction. I'd be curious about your reaction to Manning's decision to take less money and come to Phoenix.
Well, I think he wants to play with a club that he thinks can win it all. He's had to buy a contract. He has the ability to move around. Not many people do that. But, you know, I don't think he's going to play for nothing for long, if that's what it is. It'll be kind of interesting.
Not completely altruistic. The putback is up and good.
Harper on the post-up, went right to him, missed the shot, very quick off the floor, got the easy tip.
30-23, 3:24 to go. Perry and B.J. Armstrong, a little pressure this time.
Yeah, B.J.'s trying to take the ball out of Perry's hands, make one of the other guards handle the ball.
Foster now on Barkley. Ah, how cagey was that? How cagey was that?
He's got you coming and going, as they say. He's either going to take you off the dribble, he's going to shoot over you, or he's going to use an old veteran's move, get you off balance, up in the air, lean in, go to the line.
Charles Barkley.
He really knows how to play.
Paul Westphal said today when talking with us, never, ever, ever underestimate this man's intelligence.
You know, I do a camp with him in Phoenix, and I kind of watch him with the kids. And, you know, he's the closest thing I think we've had to Muhammad Ali. He's very forthright, very open, very honest, almost to the point of offending people sometimes. But you can't deny the truth of the matter. And he's a fun guy to be around. And I think when he's not with the club, it's not the same team.
Misses the second, gets one of two. It's an 8-point Phoenix lead, 31-23. Here's Pippen. Takes Marley to the lane, and Foster with a follow.
Not sure that was designed that way. Went up and did get the ball off. Pippen again with an assist.
31-25. Person guarded by Harper. Marley, Kukoc for three. Off the mark. Barkley tips it, can't control it. B.J. Armstrong, Chicago running. Kukoc down. And B.J. Armstrong fouled by Danny Manning.
This is an area where they can hurt Phoenix. They can get down court, push the ball. They seem to be able to get numbers almost every time.
Westphal getting ready to go to his bench. A.C. Green will come in. B.J. Armstrong at the line. He's hitting 82% for the year from the free throw line.
Suns right on the schedule for their 100-plus points at 31 already with 2:37 to go in the quarter.
A.C. Green.
A.C. Green, the quiet one. Not pretty, but very, very effective. You know, one of those players that goes unnoticed, kind of likes it, but maybe doesn't like it. Who knows inside, but he'll have a hard time in this club getting noticed.
Yet he's getting a lot of minutes. He's one of the three players over 30 minutes for the Phoenix Suns, and there are a lot of guys who are demanding time. Here's Green, Perry, Marley, Person, and Barkley on the floor now for Phoenix. Fronting by Pippen, he makes the steal.
Yeah, they've changed the matchup. They don't like what was happening, so they put Pippen on unless it was just in transition.
Well, we'll see next time down if that's the matchup. Here's Foster calling for the ball. Barkley guards him, the fadeaway turnaround. Foster. How about that?
Not bad. He says, I'll give it to you right back.
31-29. A little bit of a mini run now by Chicago.
They've changed their defensive alignment. Their demeanor is much different. They're going to play. Pippen's going to try to front him. They're going to come from the weak side.
Rebound, Foster. That's 5 rebounds for Foster and a foul called on Barkley.
Now Barkley, you can see, he didn't have the ability to move laterally that time. Nailed Scottie. Tried to move, reaches in.
First foul on Barkley. We've got 1:40 to go in the quarter. Kukoc bothered from behind. Shoots it over A.C. Green and cans it. And we're tied at 31.
The defensive change, and that's a great move. They're trying to take the ball again out of Perry's hands, but Pippen's going to play and become a much more active player. Try to front him, They're going to look to lob over the top, but now Manning is there, and AC is not as good a passer as Manning.
Here's Marley, and the rebound. Oh, wow, what an elbow thrown by Pippen on Perry, and no call. Armstrong, 10-0 run. Westfall is still pleading for that call.
Yeah, he saw the wipeout there. He was right in front of him. He was close to getting a technical right here.
He's not whispering.
But he has such a nice demeanor, you can get away with it.
Yeah, but he got kicked out of the Miami game earlier.
Probably by design.
2 techs in the third quarter. Foul on Barkley.
Charles Barkley, his second penalty.
Pippen trying to keep him off the offensive board. Just throws him away.
Bill Wennington's going to come into the lineup for Phoenix. Elliot Perry will get a rest, and Wayman Tisdale comes on now. Now Perry's going to stay in. Barkley goes out with the second foul, and Wayman Tisdale, number 23, is in the lineup. Pippen shoots 2.
Yeah, this will force Marley into handling the ball if they continue to overplay Perry.
Quality first quarter for Greg Foster. And Bill Wennington takes his place.
Well, Foster did his work on the offensive board. Really hurt Phoenix. 10 points, 5 rebounds. That's a nice quarter's work.
11 unanswered points. Pippen misses the second free throw. Perry. Nifty.
What quickness.
Elliot Perry.
That ends the 11-point run. Here's Pippen at the other end. Whoa!
And all of a sudden, defensive strategy pays off. 37-33, up 4.
Now Pippen's on Marley with Barkley on the bench. Harper guards Perry. Kukoc in the passing lane. Perry whips it back to Marley.
Swing the ball, get it open. When they go to the doubles, if they swing the ball, they're going to be able to get into the interior of their defense, get some good shots.
Pippen too strong. Perry's going to have to hurry. Marley for 3. No!
Would have been good.
Well, an 11-0 run by the Chicago Bulls propels them to a first quarter lead. Chicago up by 2 at the end of
1. 7 days of 007 continues.
2.5, 230-pound junior, and McCarty is way off, and Trent clears the rebound. Ohio University pretty much has been in command. Number 15, Jeff Shepard, just in the ball game for the Cats, a sophomore in Peachtree City, Georgia, will take Gus Johnson. Edwards takes Ford, who gets Bang. Right wing, no good as Johnson misses, and the rebound is to McCarty. Edwards to a wide open Jeff Shepard for 3, and it's short. But there is Walker to follow up, and he misses. Kentucky shooting miserably from the field.
Yes, they are.
Use of even trying. You can't get a break.
Tempest 2000.
What's that?
Only for the 64-bit Atari Jaguar. Do the math.
Any dentist will recommend you thoroughly remove plaque daily, which is exactly what the Braun Oral-B plaque remover with its unique cup-shaped brush head does. The alternative is unthinkable. The Braun Oral-B plaque remover.
Back at the United Center in Chicago for quarter number 2. Vern Lundquist along with Chuck Daly. Bulls up 37-35. Elliot Perry, now in his 3rd year, formerly from Memphis State.
Here's why you must get the ball under control. You don't get it under control, he's going to get to the basket. And every team defensively, you've got to control that point guard to make them set up. Don't let him take it all the way to the basket on an easy shot like that.
37-35. It was really a defensive switch that propelled that 11-0 run, though, when Scottie Pippen began to guard Charles Barkley. Here's Danny Ainge in his 14th season. Replaces Elliott Perry to start quarter number 2. Ainge and Marley, A.C. Green, Person, and Wayman Tisdale now. And for Chicago, it's Kukoc, Wennington, Steve Kerr is into the lineup, number 25, Ron Harper, and Scottie Pippen. Here's Kerr. Nope.
They went right to a set play for Kerr. Special play to try to get a good shot. He got the shot. He's one of those guys that is a very significant shooter.
Marley will shoot a couple.
The Bulls personal foul. Bill Wennington, his first. The team's first.
Bill Wennington picks up his first, and Dan Marley goes to the line.
No Sun has more than 1 rebound thus far, and that's why we've got Chicago leading.
Dan Marley shoots 2.
37-35. Dan Marley a chance to tie it. (37-37). Pippen and Wennington. Steve Kerr, who began his career as a second-round draft choice of the Phoenix Suns back in '88. Harper has increased his scoring here in the last 7 games. Finally got it into a double-figure average. Here's Kukoc. No, short with the shot.
Got a good shot. Kukoc working on a low post. Very adept in that position.
Kukoc, first foul. Ron Harper in the first 5 games, only a 4-point average. He's up around 15 the last 7 games.
Probably familiarity with the offense, and I can see from the game we had 2 weeks ago that they're running the offense much better. Not nearly what they want to. They don't run it at the speed that they need to or they're used to in the past.
Tisdale over Wennington. Got it.
This is a guy who was born to score. I mean, you put him around the box, he's going to score on anyone.
He's been bothered by a sprained ankle, so he's not playing at 100%. Here's Harper. Kerr backs up for 3.
That's his shot.
Hitting 50% from free throw range. Actually, he's above that now. He's 15 of 29 for the season. Kukoc goes sprawling in a battle with A.C. Green. Now Tisdale. This time he goes to his left. And here's Pippen for Chicago. 4-on-2.
Pippen must get the ball under control if you're going to be a good defensive club.
Bulls up by 3, 42-39. And Pippen has 13. And a rebound.
Going to take it. Get somebody a good shot.
Ainge on Kerr. Wennington, good ball fake. 2 more.
Pippen just signaled to Phil Jackson, says, I want a little relief here. I'm getting tired. He's been in here a long time.
Fronting Marley now. Ainge tries to pop out. Marley. Wayman Tisdale 2 more.
It's going to be interesting to see when they do take Pippen out if this club can hold up offensively, because he's really made play after play of some sort, either shooting the ball, passing it. Big shot by Kukoc.
Tony Kukoc, who has yet to start a game this year, used exclusively as a 6th man by Phil Jackson.
I don't think that'll change. I think Phil wants him there, but I'm a little surprised in the minutes. He's only averaging about 26.5 minutes per game. I thought he'd be a little bit higher.
Here's Kukoc. Harper, nope. Marley has it for Phoenix, 47-41. Largest lead now for Chicago at 6 points. Tisdale, 2 more.
Oh, what an offensive player.
I think you like his skills at that part of the game.
Lionel Hollins told me, wow, not a mean, a tough guy, but he can really score.
Wayman Tisdale with a quick 6. It's 47-43 with 8:19 to go. First half.
As a lasting reminder of their Kodak moment at the Bulls game, all participants in on-court fan activities will have their
22nd timeout called.
Kodak Fun Saver cameras. Courtesy of Kodak.
Boston up by 7 at the half. Orlando leading by 14. They're going after their 8th win in a row. Oh, look at Charlotte over Miami. And Cleveland leading the Lakers. Charles Barkley, a quick 8 points, then good 2 quick fouls, and he'll rest now.
Yeah, we're just talking about Tisdale. Phoenix has taken 6 shots in the corner. Surprise, surprise, Tisdale, 5 of them, and hit his share. Barkley's looking up, say, are we hanging around here? When should I go back in the game? A little mental telepathy.
47-43. Now Pippen is out. And Pete Myers has come into the lineup now, number 20 for Chicago. It's Myers, Kerr. There's the double on Wennington, and a foul called.
Pete Myers comes over after they let JoJo English go, and Myers has played with him here. Gives him a lot of energy, multiple position, and he works well within the confines of his office. Not necessarily a shooter, but does a lot of things that they need out of this offense.
Well, now the test for Chicago with Pippen on the bench. Back in on, and Kukoc gets 2.
They go to the right guy. Got him on the box.
49-43. Kerr on Ainge. Marley. Harper for Chicago. Foul on Tisdale.
Kukoc on the box, effective and facing. He loves to face up, get in the lane, and look to make a pass. That time, drew the foul.
Elliot Perry replaces Dan Marley now. Myers, Kerr, Harper, Wennington, and Kukoc. Wennington took about 7 steps.
Yeah, he got himself in position. He had a pitch out there, but he had made up his mind. He was going to try to get some kind of a shot on. And that's what coaches don't like when they've got an offensive set, where they've got places to go with the ball to try to force a shot.
Danny Manning, Tisdale. Here's Ainge from the corner. Nope, Wennington. 6-point edge for Chicago. At one time in the first quarter, they trailed by 8. Kukoc. And here's Tucker. 9 points for Tony Kukoc now. And the largest lead of the game for Chicago, 51-43. Tisdale. Green to Kukoc, and now calling on Kukoc.
Yeah. Tisdale outside, Manning on the post-up. Think I'd like to have it the other way, but so be it.
Time call with 6:45 to go, first half of play, and the Bulls leading by 8.
James Bond continues. Goldfinger next on TBS.
So, what's the newest thing from Foot Locker? It's a chance to vote for which NBA players go to the All-Star game, to go to All-Star Weekend in Phoenix with 3 of your friends, to take a 3-point shot for $1 million. $1 million. Thank you, Foot Locker. Because the newest thing from Foot Locker is the $1 Million Shot Sweepstakes, and the official NBA balloting headquarters is right where you'd expect it to be. Foot Locker, where it all begins.
Kids are full of questions.
Will my nose grow if I tell a lie? Can I have 3 wishes like Aladdin? Can I fly like Peter Pan? Can I?
Who inspired these Disney questions? Burger King. Because for the first time ever, I get these great Disney glasses with magical moments from Disney classics. Aladdin. Peter Pan. All their favorites, just 89 cents each with any Whopper value meal.
Daddy, are you Mommy's Prince Charming?
Burger King. Get your burger's worth.
Aptiva. He can get to anyone in D.C. The man has contacts everywhere.
It's a neurological inflammation of the aptival region.
I'm about to take over the entire...
in the first half of play. Bulls up with Charles Barkley on the bench. Coming up Friday on TNT, the New York Knicks against the Orlando Magic. That's Friday at 8 o'clock. Ron Thulin and Doug Collins will be there for that game. And then next Thursday, a week from tomorrow night, we're back on a regular schedule. Chuck and I will be down in Houston as the Hornets go in to take on Hakeem Olajuwon of the Rockets. That's Thursday night at 8 o'clock from the Summit. Charles Barkley comes back onto the court now.
Yeah, I don't think they like what was happening there. They bring Barkley back, try to get something going. They've slipped here.
And Scottie Pippen comes back
right
in.
back.
That's not a scoop, is it?
No, because they liked what was happening. Pippen's talking to him.
Now, here's another surprise. Charles is not listening to somebody else. Well, and there's another turnover, and Pippen's got it. When Barkley went to the bench with his second foul, Phoenix was up by 1, 34-31. And from that point into this, Chicago outscored Phoenix 17-10.
They got some mismatch. Pippen on Perry on Pippen.
And Wennington gets it.
Offensive rebound.
Lead is 10, 53-43. Manning is Kukoc with the reach around. Right back to Perry. And Manning saves it only to knock it into Scottie Pippen's hands. Here's Myers. Kukoc.
Chicago's really got the matchups they want. They got Kukoc on Manning, and they've got Pippen on Barkley. They like what they see.
Again, Scottie Pippen was fronting Barkley. There's the entry pass. And another turnover. Kerr. Kukoc. Back to Wennington. Soft jumper, too strong. Offensive rebound, foul, Manning.
Kukoc makes some plays on the baseline, makes the pass, gets the rebound.
Joe Klein in the lineup for Phoenix.
You don't always need size. Sometimes you can have quickness, and that's what Pippen has done. He's really bothering Barkley by his ability to move side to side, get around front him, and he knows he has help on the backside.
Ah, what a pass. Ah, what a play.
I just love the way Kukoc plays because he's such a complete player. Passes the ball, and you're going to see in tough games when Phil really wants to win a game, these two guys are going to be on the floor. Here's Kukoc. Watch his pass. Even more, watch this shot. Brings it all the way back down, comes out of the holster, up and in.
Misses the free throw. Joe Klein is on the court now for Phoenix.
Phoenix needs to get something going here, down 14.
3 straight turnovers. Make it 4. Kukoc, he'll take the 3. And deflate the crowd with it. Boy, they were ready to erupt. Barkley. Did it again.
And the Bulls' personal foul is on Bill Wennington, his 3rd.
Bill Wennington picks up the foul. That's 3 on Wennington.
For the Suns, replacing Elite Perry. Charles Barkley to the line.
Barkley goes back to the line. He'll shoot 2. And depleted as he is with big men, with only Foster available, Jackson waits a while to get Wennington out, but now he calls on Greg Foster. Well,
Greg Foster returns for the Bulls, replacing Bill Wennington.
don't forget, the conclusion of tonight's game will be selecting the Budweiser player of the game. That's an item of business we'll take care of down the road. Here's Barkley shooting his second. (57-44).
Phoenix has had some tough nights in this building.
Well, ironically, Chuck, it was 1 year ago tonight these two teams played in the old Chicago Stadium. And Chicago won big. Pippen had a huge night, and many think that was the game, the single game that ignited a very successful season for Chicago.
Yeah, Phoenix came in here on a run, and I think Phoenix feeling very, very good about themselves right now. You got to be careful. They're coming in against a club that's trying to find its way, but getting better. And they're finding out more about where they can use personnel and how to get the ball to the right people at the right spot on the floor.
Barkley goes for the steal. Myers gets it back. 8 on the shot clock. Myers goes for the steal. 3 on the shot clock. Well, that's a heartbreaker.
Whoa. You work that hard, take it all the way down, and he makes it fading on the baseline.
Pippen is 7 of 9 from the field. Another turnover. 59-44. 4:03 to go before halftime. Barkley on Kukoc. Back to Foster.
Foster shooting the ball very well. And, of course, Kukoc making the play, going by Barkley, but setting him up.
Lights out for Chicago from the field. Here's Manning. Nice soft jumper.
They got to go to him and get some points out of him.
61-46. Lead is 15. 3:25 remaining in the first half of play. Kukoc. And Joe Klein pulls it down. Klein and Ainge join Manning, Marley, and Barkley for the Suns.
It's the first we've seen of Klein, who has started earlier in the year.
Myers guards Marley. Barkley. Back to the free throw line.
Doing what he does best, getting second shots. Marley, the ability to get him moving and not let him stand still really helps him. But inside, sealed off Kukoc.
Charles Barkley at the line, 2 shots.
So often you get a guy who gets that offensive rebound and then puts it back up and gets fouled.
Barkley 4 of 6 from the free throw line.
Missed 2 free throws since he's come back into the ball game.
Replacing Joe Klein.
Wesley Person back on for Phoenix, replacing Joe Klein. So that was a quick tour around the court for Joe Klein. Barkley shoots another. Conditioning a problem for Barkley?
Yeah, it'll be somewhat, although he's probably been doing some bike work and machine work, but it's not the same as playing. But I don't think it's been a factor here tonight. I think they're just into their rotation. They want more offense on the floor right now, down 15 points.
What's Westphal going to be happy with by halftime?
He'd love to get it under 10. Love to, but he's going to have a hard time. Particularly he missed 2 back-to-back free throws.
61-46.
Chicago will like to use some clock here, run their offense, get a very good shot, try to get Phoenix to make a mistake.
Foster had an elbow out there that time.
Offensive foul. The Bulls, Greg Foster. His second.
Foster with a foul. Time has been called with 2:49 to go in the first half of play. It's 61-46. Chicago leads by 15.
Race around the cones in their lane.
Tonight's game is brought to you by AutoZone Auto Parts.
Rookie Grant Hill. You spent some time with him at Thanksgiving, didn't you?
Yeah, he stopped by the house for a little food, and a terrific kid. Going to be one of the great players in the league. Great demeanor. You know, it's interesting. It was 30-21 Phoenix. When Tony Kukoc entered the game, it's 40-16 since that time, along with some great play by Scottie Pippen.
Greg Foster also contributing right now, and he is on the court. Kukoc has a rest. B.J. Armstrong back. Pippen, Foster, Armstrong, Simpkins, and Harper. And that three-pointer by Wesley Person.
Yeah, that play was set up. We haven't seen much of Perry. Perry's disappeared. He has had some terrific games, but has not played much since early in the game.
Simpkins. Foster. Nope. 2:15 to go. 61-49. And this foul is called on Scottie Pippen. That's his second.
And they got to be careful of that. He didn't want to pick that one up because it was in transition. It had nothing to do actually with the player or anybody going for the basket. And I'm sure he wasn't happy about it. And probably fouled the wrong guy with this guy's shot. Even when he throws up a bad one like he did there, he gets the bounce.
Wesley Person out of Auburn. 23rd player selected in the draft. And he's come on to average 13 points per game in his first year with the Phoenix Suns. Well, they've got it at 10 now, 61-51.
Interesting matchup. Barkley on Pippen, trying to control him. And the coach is out of the game.
B.J. Armstrong, there's the switch. Marley. And tied up by Barkley. Good defensive play.
Yeah, stepped in. So often you see officials call that a foul, but that, when they put the hand on the ball like that, it isn't always a foul. Here's actually B.J. trying to force it. Gets in the lane. Barkley has him, as does Barkley. Both of them hands on the ball. Rare that you see that.
Barkley wants to take the job. And they're going to force Marley to take it. Brings to mind a movie, recent vintage. Barkley chases down the loose ball. 1:45 to go and a chance to get it into single digits now for Phoenix. Simpkins back on Barkley. This is where we started.
Barkley had his way early. See what he gets here.
He's got Ainge spotting up for three and off the mark. Danny Manning gets the offensive board. 1:20 to go before halftime. Person. Offense.
That's one of the questions that they had about Person. Was he going to be able to put on the floor? But when you got, here he comes into the lane. Gets position, gets the offensive foul, but he's going to get better at that. He'll improve that phase of the game. He and Lionel Hollins were working about it before the game tonight. He'll get better at that.
Marley on Pippen again. Manning now on the switch. Marley's got Foster down low post.
It's been an interesting game from the standpoint of matchups. Scottie Pippen nails the three from the top.
Back to a 13-point lead, under a minute to go. And Person will shoot free throws.
A little surprised they haven't put more pressure on Ainge. Ainge is a true point guard. Doesn't really go by it. BJ's got to back off, and he makes an easy pass there to a guy slipping on the baseline. Wesley Person was taking his man out. They overplayed the screen. He ducked back in, gets to the foul line.
And Person gets the first free throw, 64-52. One of two.
Missed the free throw.
Yes, 8 of 13 from the free throw line, but that one counts for two.
Great hustle play by Ainge. Gets in there, gets an easy two.
Back to a 10-point margin now, 64-54. Ron Harper finds Dickie Simpkins. Not sure what. This call is on Marley. That's his second.
Barkley's really jamming the defense, paying no attention to the outside shooter.
Yeah, I was wondering what he was doing.
Yeah, he's just backing off, say, go ahead, shoot it, because he knows that he will not take this shot.
Scottie Pippen misses the free throw. 30 seconds to go, 64-54. One of two for the Bulls. And the lead is 11. Ainge getting a lot of playing time in place of Elliott Perry here. Marley guarded by Foster. Barkley is shoved as he goes up for the rebound. They got Simpkins.
Yeah, Marley takes the three, but hard-working Barkley, and he really is a great offensive rebounder. And he don't mind, as we found out on Dream Team 1, nailing somebody early to scare him off for the rest of the tournament.
Charles Barkley shoots 2.
He demands his space in the lane.
Gets the first. 65-55. Kerr and Kukoc coming in now for some offensive firepower for Phoenix, or for Chicago rather.
15+ seconds. They want to get a good shot, and they want to have shooters on the floor. Probably seeing Scottie Pippen handling the ball, the other people spotting up. He'll be looking to get in the lane as much as he can. They'll settle for a 2 or take a 3.
Wow, they're hurting themselves at the free throw line tonight. 65-55, last shot of the first half. Kukoc. Barkley's right there. Well, they did not get it down to a single digit, but the Phoenix Suns did carve 7 points off the largest lead. Scottie Pippen's 21 points lead Chicago, and they jump out to a 10-point lead at the end of the first half. Back to Atlanta with Fred and Dick after these messages.
Yo, get with the program.
Catch Inside Stuff Saturday morning. True story. Yeah, me and the Warriors in the locker room skipping practice. Zoom, shooting hoop. Me and Mullen. Fast break. Me and Hardaway. Zoom, behind the back pass. Me and the boys dogging it. Zooming along, playing the game. Zoom, in walks Coach Nelson. Busted. Unplugs the game. Yo, Don, bring it back. Yo, Don, bring it back. NBA Live 95. EA Sports. It's in the game.
From Eureka, vacs so powerful they've earned the Corvette name. Corvette hand vac with powered brush roll. New Corvette wet dry with high performance 4 horsepower motor. Both great deals. The next generation from Eureka.
It's never fun to eat and run, to rush and eat too fast, 'cause you know it's gonna catch up with you at last.
For acid indigestion or heartburn with headache, nothing's faster than Alka-Seltzer.
Get yourself some Alka-Seltzer and you'll feel better fast.
Only those with superhuman ability may enter my court. I got next. Dare to continue?
The Reebok Halftime Report is brought to you by Reebok.
It's halftime in Chicago with the score. The Bulls leading the Suns 65-55. I'm Fred Hickman in Atlanta, along with my partner Dick Versace. This is your Reebok Halftime Report. And Dick, the Suns, their Achilles heel is defense again.
Well, the Suns try to control the game by what they do offensively. The Chicago Bulls try to control the tempo. Right now, the Bulls are shooting almost 60%. But they're only up 10, and that's dangerous.
We still got a good half of basketball left to go. But right now, let's get you up to speed on the other action in the league tonight. Down to Orlando, where the Magic is getting after a club record 8th consecutive win. Sacramento in the O-Arena, and this is Shaq's house. He scores the first 13 points for his team. That represents a new club record. He is the man. But also on fire tonight, Mitch Richmond of the Sacramento Kings. Sweet fall away, Jay, that brought rain as it came down. But here's your guy, Dick.
Yeah, and this is one of my pretty as a penny. Watch this. Up, no look. Oh, I love it.
Shaq with the big finish right there. And right now, in the third quarter, the Orlando Magic leading the Sacramento Kings 74-55. Charlotte, the Hornets, and the Heat. It's the Hornets by 20 points now. The Heat shooting 38% from the field in the game. To Cleveland, good game between the human party favors and the red hot Lakers. Mike Fratello clapping for his Cavaliers team, co-leading the Midwest Division, Central Division rather. Danny Ferry, nice dish to Terrell Brandon right there, putting the Cavs up by 10. Then Ferry for 3. As the Cavs were on an 11-0 run in the second, they've moved to the third with the Cavs leading 76-57. Cleveland winning the battle off the bench 32-6 so far. And to the Garden, the Celtics and the Pistons. David Wesley, they're 5-2 with this guy as a starter with a nice pass to Montrose, but Grant Hill for the Pistons.
Oh, yes, and what a wonderful pass. What a little dip, do, scoop. You gotta love it. And how about this? An in-your-face slammer-jammer. Wow.
Over Wesley, by the way. 78-66 is your score in the third. Hill with 11 points, 3 boards, 3 assists, a steal, 5 for 7 shooting in the first half. Joe Dumars was scoreless in that first half of play. Coming up, allow us, if you will, to introduce you to Grant Hill, a special player under construction, a special young man already. Some compare his talent to that of Jordan and his demeanor to that of Julius Erving. Dick, this is a special, special rookie.
You know, I talked to a very special guy, Will Robinson, the 70-something-year-old scout of the Detroit Pistons. And this is what he had to say about Grant Hill. He said he's an excellent basketball player. He says he's a better human being. He has humility, which he thinks today's players don't have. And he said that he's a silent leader. But most importantly, he said, the hustlers won't get to him.
And Will knows what he's talking about, doesn't he?
Yes, he does.
Well, I recently had the chance to sit down with Grant Hill, who is by no means a first-generation superstar in the making. While Grant was toddling, Father Calvin Hill was running the ball for the Dallas Cowboys. Mother Janice was scoring big as an attorney. So this young man had a mold of excellence into which he could grow. His time at Duke was well spent. 3 trips to the NCAA tournament title game, 2 victories. So entering the NBA, it seemed only natural that number 33 would be compared to a pretty fair player who wore number 23.
It's very uncomfortable. You know, Michael Jordan has accomplished everything in the world of basketball. He's won every team and individual award you can think of. I think it's really unfair. It's unfair to both of us. It's unfair to him, and it's definitely unfair to me. When there are comparisons, when people compare a player to another player, then that player sometimes gets caught up in trying to be like that other player. And you know, I want to be Grant Hill, and I want to go out there and do the things I can do to help this team win. I have a lot of heroes, a lot of people who've really touched my life in a lot of positive ways. You know, first of all, my parents, my father, and not really for his athletic ability, more for just being a great dad and always being there for me and being supportive in whatever I want to do. I think when you have parents who are so positive and have done a lot and have accomplished a lot in this world, it puts a lot of pressure on you growing up. Pressure to do well in school, pressure to be a good citizen, pressure to do well in sports.
You never were hurting for material things growing up, but did this ever make you feel as though you weren't one of the fellas?
I didn't want to, you know, be perceived as better than them because my parents had money. So, you know, I would, if my dad were to drive me to school or to practice or anywhere, he couldn't take me in one of his luxury cars. He had to take me in this old beat-up Volkswagen. I wanted people to like me for me and not because of who my parents are or what they've accomplished in this world. There is pressure when your father's an athlete, when people, you know, people think you have money or people think you're from the other side of the tracks when you play. They'll come at you tougher. They think you're not tough. And you have to sort of develop a toughness because you get everybody's best shot. And they definitely want to beat the son of a professional athlete. So I had to develop that toughness early on if I wanted to compete in any sport.
Everything in your life appears to be perfect, Grant, but do you have any flaws at all?
I don't think that I'm perfect, but then I don't think that, you know, there are a whole bunch of mistakes or bad things about me, or at least I don't want everybody to know the bad things about me.
Well, we did find one slight imperfection. He bites his fingernails, but he's working on it. The Reebok Halftime Report continues.
What would it be like if everyone had the same face? The same.
Just names and sizes and weights and positions. They're people. And they had friendships and loyalties, and all these things must be mended. You got a great leader in Don Nelson, a proven leader. He'll figure it out. Listen to him and work it out. Get your act together. That's what I would say to the Warriors.
As for the Washington Bullets, 0-4 since Weber. And he had some disparaging remarks about the home crowd last night following the loss to Georgetown alum Patrick Ewing and the New York Knicks.
Individually, yeah, guys have been receiving the support. Yes, I've been getting cheered and it feels good. But they're not cheering. They need to cheer for our team, whether we're playing bad or whether we're playing good. Just support us, you know. Jump on or jump off right now.
Dick, is this marriage going to be as sweet as we all thought?
Well, I would say to Chris Webber, Chris, this is the NBA. You know what it stands for? No babies allowed.
By the way, Chris Webber is the only player ever to have been traded for 6 first-round draft picks. Anyway, that's your Reebok halftime report. We're all set for the second half in Chicago. The Suns trailing the Bulls by 10. Back to Vern and Chuck right after this.
The Reebok halftime report has been brought to you by Reebok.
Only those with superhuman ability may enter my court. I got next.
In Chicago, a couple of miles west of the downtown area, and these 20,000 thrilled because the Chicago Bulls are leading the Phoenix Suns at halftime by 10, 65-55. Fairly seldom, Chuck, that you can point to a specific point of the game and say that's where it changed. But you can in this one.
Yeah, we're going to do it for you. Scottie Pippen, they put him on Barkley. Barkley was really having his own way in any direction he wanted. They put Pippen on him. He fronted him. And normally when you front someone, you can't rise like this. Fight a guy like Barkley with his strength. Watch this play. That tells you what Pippen is all about. Gets the break started. And from that moment on, they took control of the game.
Chicago hit 63% from the field in the first half. The Suns had problems from the free throw line. They missed 7 and a 40-14 run at one point. The free throw problem caused Barkley to go to the line before he went to get a rest.
Yeah, he wants to get the motion back. Sometimes they feel like it's swinging a golf club. You get the feel of swinging the club head. He knows that he's a better foul shooter than he didn't like what happened.
6 of 9 from the field for Barkley. Pippen, a terrific all-around first half. 21 points, 4 rebounds, and 8 of 11 from the field.
Unsung hero of the first half, Kukoc.
Yes.
5 for 8, and his assist key.
Well, why don't we make him sung?
Okay.
We'll start now. On the floor, it's Harper. Posting up, back to Simpkins. Pippen with Perry and Manning draws the foul.
Got him up in the air, up and under, going for the double team. I'm really lobbying for Kukoc for more minutes. Can you tell that?
Yeah.
I just like the way he plays. And when I come to see him play, the few times I see him, he doesn't play enough minutes.
Well, have you asked Phil Jackson why he doesn't play more than 27?
No, I've not gotten enough nerve because he says, mind your own business. I coach this team.
I mean, Kukoc may want to pay you 10% before we're done this season. Not that he needs to at all.
I think his contract's fine.
Yeah, he's been pretty well represented, I think. 67-55. Here's Harper guarding Wesley Person. Manning to Barkley, and he'll shoot a couple.
Manning catches the ball in the lane and really looking to pass the basketball. Knows where Barkley is even before he started to cut into the lane.
Now we'll see if that practice just before the halftime break pays dividends for Barkley. He's out there practicing again.
Getting into his motion. It's such a head game, this foul shooting. If you start thinking about it, I think you got a problem.
Guess what?
He's thinking about it. You could tell by what he did just prior going to half. And I used to never bring up, as a coach, never bring up free throw shooting because it gets into people's heads. A little bit like putting in golf. You start really thinking about it, you're going to miss those 2-footers.
Was that tough not to bring it up, though?
Yeah, you'd like to say something, but I think it's the worst thing you can do to a player. They are what they are in terms of shooting. They can work on it, but if you get into the mental part, they got a problem.
Top of the key, that's for 3. Harper. He's got 5 now. 70-56. Underneath, Manning. Goaltending.
Got caught looking on the weak side. You've got to know where the ball and the man are. Let him cut inside. Once he does that, that's going to be an easy basket for Phoenix. You know, it's interesting with Chicago, the Armstrong case. He's just not getting the looks that he used to. Particularly this year, he's not getting the shots, and obviously he's not making near as many.
Any theory as to why?
I think it's all the new people not knowing the offense, and they concentrate really on only one guy, and they don't double him quite as much.
Marley. Harper brings it down for the Bulls, finds Armstrong. It's 2-on-2. Here's Simpkins, and the shot rims out. Nicky Simpkins with the follow, can't control it. Marley and Manning, Barkley, Person, and Perry. Manning.
Perry comes back in and starts the game, playing very few minutes.
And a foul is called, which means that Manning picks up his fourth foul.
Yeah, Phoenix looks like they're playing a little tired, perhaps from playing last night, but Chicago really pushing the ball, getting some very easy shots, particularly early here in the second half.
Simpkins goes to the free throw line. The Suns, by the way, beginning this long road trip, 7 games back-to-back here. There's a miss. They do fly a charter, but they opted to bus down from Milwaukee. By the time you get in the bus and drive down, it takes about the same time as it does go to the airport, get on, fly, get off.
Yeah, this is one of the few trips. You got a couple in the east to Philly, New Jersey, Philly, New York, maybe Philly, Washington.
Who says it's not a bus league? At the other end, the ball thrown away. Barkley looking down at Marley saying, didn't you know what I was thinking of?
A little miscommunication on someone's part.
Well, they're not speaking to each other right now.
They're not happy. They're not a happy camp. Not a happy group.
Nope. It was the bus ride. They will fly out of here tomorrow for Boston. Simpkins. Harper. Nope. Barkley rebound. Here's Elliott Perry. Manning is fouled by Ron Harper. I think also, Chuck, that since we opened this broadcast talking about Elliott Perry, Trevor Ruffin, and Wesley Person, we ought to explain where they've been.
Ruffin, you know, they found him. Ruffin was cut by Los Angeles Lakers and was in the airport in Buffalo when they called him and picked him up. And but we haven't seen him tonight.
I mean, we got a great story to tell about the kid, and he can't get in the game.
You know, that's what happens. We were talking to Paul Westphal about it today. When you have this kind of depth, you know, 9 guys in double figures, where do you find time for all these people? And some of these people had given them energy and played very, very well.
Well, in truth, those 3 last night. Here's Manning missing from the free throw line again. The trio of the youngsters, Elliott Perry, Trevor Ruffin, Wesley Person, were really factors last night in the win up in Milwaukee. But Paul Westphal said they are not the reason we are 10-3. 71-59 with 9:32 to go, third quarter. Armstrong. Pippen.
Beautiful fadeaway. Had him coming into the post.
9 of 12 from the field for Scottie Pippen. He's got 25. That's 2 above his average per game. There's the double on Barkley. Perry for 2. Harper rebound.
This is the most minutes probably Barkley has played, and he's such a dominating factor with the ball that I think it's probably got Phoenix a little bit out of sync right now until they get used to him playing long minutes.
Sat out for a period of time in the second quarter with his second foul. Simpkins on Barkley. That's the way the game started. That's That's not the way the game started. Good play by Simpkins.
Yeah, Harper came and helped. There's Pippen all the way to the basket. If Phoenix wants to get back this game, they're going to have to start playing better defense. Both transition and regular half-court defense.
75-59 with 8:20 to go, third quarter.
Barkley catches the ball. You know he's going to try to make something happen. Get to the foul line. They've got to get something on the board.
Manning will inbound now for the Suns. Perry went over and talked with Westfall for just a second.
Life of a coach. Last night, Westfall very, very happy. Very unhappy.
Marley.
They're probably going to live by this one. They're going to put Marley there and feed Barkley and play the two-man game. In, out, see if they can get the double team. Try to shoot the three to get back in it.
They hit 12 threes last night and winning up the interstate of Milwaukee. 9 of those, though, in the first half. 75-62. Barkley. Harper for Chicago. 2-on-2. That's for 3. No. Marley saves it. Fouled by Harper.
That's a killer. 3-on-2. Armstrong pulls up for a shot he thinks he can make and takes a shot. Then they give up a foul on the other end.
4 personal fouls on Ron Harper now. Barkley's going to get a rest. A.C. Green comes on the court. Wayman Tisdale, rather. So it's Tisdale, Manning, Green, Marley, and Perry now. There's A.C. Green.
Wow. We are not seeing good foul shooting.
No. No.
Looks almost like a collegiate game.
Very perceptive of you.
Yeah, right. Tell me something I don't know, right? I haven't been watching. Maybe someone just tuned in.
That's it. It's a hook. Stay with us and watch him miss. 75-63. Marley gets 1 of 2. Pete Myers on the floor for Chicago. Armstrong back to Myers. Simpkins. Lead was 10 at the half. Phoenix trying to get back to that margin on this offensive trip. Tisdale. Myers guards Marley down in the low post, and Marley misfires. Here's Pippen.
Made a lot of passes to throw it away.
Boy, didn't they? And then at the other end, there's a deflator. Here's Marley for 2.
And Marley.
Getting it close to the magic mark. Got it to 10.
Now, they have struggled since getting outscored, actually 40-14 in one stretch and losing the lead. They were down by as many as 17. Armstrong and Perry, that's off Armstrong.
Yeah, Armstrong trying to post up.
Time has been called. 6:19 remaining. Quarter number 3. Chicago up by 10, just as they were at the halftime break.
Tonight's game.
Did he see him? Now, you probably think your eyes are fine, but are you positively seeing the whole picture? The only way to be sure is to get your eyes checked.
Fields and he flies and he got it! 4 for Gary Payton!
So focus on the future. Get an eye exam and get the most out of your game.
.619 remaining, quarter number 3. Chicago leading by 10, just as they were at the halftime. We talked about the youngsters to begin the game. Elliot Perry tonight with 4 points in 21 minutes. Wesley Person 11 points in 20 minutes. And Trevor Ruffin, who is averaging in double digits now and had 20 last night, has not played tonight.
I think Westfall sensed that this is a kind of game that may be too big this early in their careers or at this stage of the season to play Chicago in what used to be the Chicago Stadium.
You miss it?
Yeah, I do. I love that place.
I did too. Myers to Kukoc. To Pippen.
Looking to size it up and shoot. He makes things happen. Makes a great pass. Wide open.
And it's 77-65. Now let's check the quintet on the floor for the Bulls. It's Armstrong, Kukoc, Pippen, Wennington, and Pete Myers. And Perry's got the ball now for Phoenix. Gets it to Person, who lays it off the glass. Nice touch on that shot. Trevor Ruffin. Westfall's been listening to us. Ruffin's getting ready to come in.
They need some instant offense, and that's what he gives them. He was talking again to Lionel Hollins, and he said, you know what? Watch and see how long it takes him to get a shot up when he comes in the game. It'll be interesting to see.
Here's a young man who tried out with the Lakers, was with them in summer, was cut, and when Kevin Johnson went on the injured list, they went after Trevor Ruffin. Here's Armstrong. Got it from the corner. That's for two. And actually, they were negotiating with Winston Garland. The contract became a hassle. They called Ruffin. He was going home to Buffalo. They said, just get off the plane and fly to Seattle and meet us there. And it was on the 11th of November.
They've been in there ever since.
And bingo. Yeah, I didn't put a clock on it, did you?
There was 2 passes involved, I think.
And Wayman Tisdale was on the line.
And all of a sudden, 9-point game.
First time they've been in single digits since midway through quarter number 2. Kukoc guarded by Tisdale. Person has Myers. Pippen. Oh boy. 31 points for Scottie Pippen. Back to an 11-point lead. Trevor Ruffin takes a shot, number 2.
Personal foul, B.J. Armstrong.
Instant offense.
Westfall said they played against the young man in the summer league in Los Angeles. He said all he did was score 40 against us every time we went out. So they liked him. They like him even more now. Signed a 1-year contract on the 11th. Had 20 points last night.
That's why these summer leagues are so good for kids to go out and play and get an opportunity against different kinds of personnel and different levels. And people see him, and all of a sudden he shows up in a uniform.
Quick 5 points for Ruffin, 81-72 with 4:22 to go in the third quarter. Pippen saves it. Armstrong from Kukoc. And Marley gets it for Phoenix.
Chicago caught in a little bit of dilemma. I sense that he'd probably like to give Pippen a little rest to save for the fourth quarter, but now all of a sudden Phoenix is starting to close. Marley's playing him, making it more difficult for him. And then he don't get a shot.
B.J. Armstrong all the way in.
Offensive efficiency when you're away from home on the visitor's court. Offensive efficiency. Don't turn it over without getting a decent shot.
Ruffin. Oh, boy.
Where has he been?
He's not next to Shy in the dictionary. I know that. 83-74. And a steal by Person. 3-on-2. Ruffin. Nice feed to A.C. Green. How about the spark this young man has given this team?
Yeah, he's really got this club moving.
83-76. Trevor Ruffin, undrafted in his rookie season, almost thrown away. Played at Hawaii last year in the WAC.
Offensive foul
on Wennington. That's 4 on Bill Wennington. Time has been called. Trevor Ruffin has come off the bench to propel Phoenix back into the ballgame.
Knicks versus... Which may be the greatest comfort of all.
Certificate for a free
Bulls still lead it, but it's been cut to 7, 83-76, 2:52 to go in the third quarter. Now let's take a look at tonight's GMC Truck scoreboard. Boston leading Detroit by 7 in the fourth. Orlando rolling over Sacramento in the fourth. Charlotte with a big lead over Miami. And one final in Cleveland knocks off the Lakers 117-79. San Antonio's at Seattle later tonight.
They're making this comeback. Barkley and Manning on the bench, and Ruffin has been involved in every offensive play. Either pass, made a free throw, or made a shot.
Scottie Pippen is getting a rest. He's played all but 1 minute so far tonight. So it's Ruffin going against Armstrong right now. Pick and roll with Tisdale. Ruffin. It's on the floor, and Chicago comes up with it. Pete Myers. Armstrong, Myers, Kukoc. Corey Blunt has come in for the first time tonight. Number 44 has the ball now.
And Bushler. We see him streaking down the lane on a great give and go. One of the oldest plays in all of basketball. They've got a special set from Ruffin. They use a high post screen with Wayman Tisdale, where it clears him to get the shot or to pass off it. He reminds me of Vinnie Johnson.
Yes.
Very much so. We used to do a lot of that for Vinnie with Bill Laimbeer, and they're able to get one or the other gets a pretty good shot.
He has a physical resemblance to Vinnie Johnson, doesn't he?
Yeah. Body size, strong, great offensive player, shooter.
Here comes Ruffin again. This time Bushler picks it off.
Unfortunately, he's had 2 turnovers, and that's exactly what Paul told us this morning. But when they need offense and we're in tough shape, they're going to go to him and let him try to create points or score points.
Corey Blunt lost his starting spot tonight. Nice pass. Myers misses on the shot. Here's Bushler.
Comes in and gets 2 baskets, and he's been out with an injury, and he's struggling to run.
87-78, 1:15 to go, third quarter. Here's that same set again. Ruffin by Blunt. Quick rotation. Ainge kicks it out. 3-point shot. Yes.
Ainge wasn't quite ready to shoot, but he kicked it off to the right guy.
87-81, closest the Suns have been since the halftime break. It was 10 then. Well, Barkley and Pippen getting rest now in the third quarter. And Kukoc will shoot free throws. Tisdale picks it up.
Got some isolation out of the set, and Kukoc able to get to the basket, get to the line.
What is it that you find most attractive about Kukoc?
I think his versatility as a player. Plays very much. He has kind of a collegiate game, as a lot of European or international players do. More collegiate-like, but he passes the ball. He can shoot the ball. He's always looking to make the play. He's looking to create. He's a very solid basketball player. Really knows how to play. He's played a lot of games during his European career.
Steve Kerr has come into the lineup for Chicago now. Misfires on the free throw. It's 88-81. Final 40 seconds, third quarter. Person again. AC Green will go to the line.
Doing what he does best. In his heyday with the Los Angeles Lakers, one of the great offensive rebounders.
Marley has also come back on the court for Phoenix. There's AC Green. It's Ainge, Person, Marley. Ruffin and Green.
You know, as a coach, you'd probably like to get to an area where you have an 8-man rotation, maybe 9, and know who they are. Paul says he thinks they know who they are, but he's utilizing a lot of people, as is Phil. Phil has a tendency to use more players during the course of the year, and I'm sure Paul is going to have to with the depth of that roster.
AC Green gets 2. It's a 5-point margin. Kukoc. Kerr for 3. And Phoenix with a chance to shave the lead even more. Marley kicks it back to Ainge and Ruffin.
Steve Kerr is going to have a difficult time handling him. He's got the high post screen with Marley. Marley will pop out and hit the 3 if he can get it. They make the switch on it and collect the foul.
Myers fouls Ruffin.
Myers is first. Penalty.
.83, 5.8 seconds, and Ruffin goes to the free throw line.
Crucial right here, matched up. Phil may take a 20, may not, probably not. Probably will push the ball, looking to get a quick shot.
How about 10 quick points off the bench for the rookie?
That's a nice weapon to have in your hip pocket sitting over there.
University of Hawaii's got 11. The lead is 3. Bushler. Oh, man. No foul call. Judd Bushler can't believe it. But it's been a big quarter for the Phoenix Suns. We finished 3 at the United Center. 88-85. Chicago leads it. Back with the final stanza right after this.
Never before. All through a tiny satellite dish about the size of a small pen.
Stay. With digital quality video and CD sound,
everything's gonna look great.
How does DirecTV work? I have no idea, but it does. Get your DSS 18-inch dish and DirecTV at your RCA dealer.
Boy, they make it tough to compare, don't they? Hey! Buddy, I'm saying they make it really tough to compare, don't they? I mean, this one is bigger. This one's faster. This one's got more stuff. And am I crazy? Or are all these things all about the same price? How can that be? If they all charge about the same, does that mean that they put them all together the same and they're going to take care of you the same? I don't think so.
Back for the start of the final quarter. Vern Lundquist and Chuck Daly. The Bulls up by 3, but Trevor Ruffin with a big offensive quarter, Chuck, for Phoenix. How was he effective?
Well, this is not a new play. He's going to come to the top, set the screen right there, and allow Ruffin to come off of that screen, looking to get his own shot, which he does this time, or he's got passing lanes and people who are open. I'll be interested to see if they continue. They certainly should, because they're getting some good offensive looks. They've gotten themselves back in the game, only down 3, 12 to go.
And Ruffin stays on the floor. Danny Ainge is also there. AC Green, Marley, and Wesley Person. So Charles Barkley with 18 points stays on the bench. 11 points in 6 minutes. He's averaging almost a point a minute. He gets 13 minutes a game. He's averaging right at 11 per game. So he's right on course tonight. Person. And the lead is 1.
Yeah, that was a set play, a little bit different. He made the pass, made the cut through. Person came off his back, got a wide open layup. Scottie Pippen back on the floor.
Barkley is not. Here's Kerr, Kukoc, Foster, Myers, and Pippen. Kukoc. Myers double pump, shoots free throws.
Kukoc went as far as to go up in the air, looking like he was really going for the shot, but he looks for the pass, looks for the open man.
When you said he was a collegiate player, what exactly do you have in mind?
Well, he plays more restrained, not as much killer instinct. They play a little bit differently than the professional player does. More of a collegiate atmosphere, collegiate style, not as precise as maybe a pro player. Does a lot more things because the abilities of collegiate players aren't as great, but sometimes diversified. They use all of those abilities because they don't play against as many gifted people.
Bottom line, it was a compliment.
You got that right. A long one.
Oh, boy. 90-87.
I don't know who his agent is, but I'm slowly becoming.
Ruffin. Holy cow. I don't think even Westfall wanted that shot.
They got a break turnover, but Westfall's going to say. And Ruffin is patting his chest, which means my fault, my mistake.
Kerr on Ruffin. There's that same high screen. AC Green this time. Ruffin. Kukoc.
He's cool.
They going to him too often now?
Yeah, but you ride it a few more times.
Foster. He's got 14 points. And the lead's back to 5. Yep, let's try it one more time.
And they're going to go a little more movement, pick and roll.
Marley off the mark. Kukoc, another rebound. Ah, beautiful.
Beautiful basketball. Make that extra pass. Paul Westphal wants a timeout.
.94-87, time called.
James Bond continues. Goldfinger next on TBS.
As cool as your red top and favorite hot spots. It's something with hometowns and everyone's class clown. It's always been true. This Bud's for you.
Just for you, a taste you'll find in no other beer at any price. Beechwood Aged Budweiser.
It's always been true.
What makes you think you can play in the National Basketball Association?
You know, I know what you're saying, and you're asking me a tough question, but it's a little bit insulting, too.
You actually think that you can play in the NBA with players that have been playing their entire lives?
Well, I've been playing my entire life, too. You know, I just never played it at this level before. I'm as tall as some of those guys.
So what are you, 6'2", 6'1"?
I'm 6'3" in boots.
So you can't wear boots in the NBA.
Happy holidays, Dave.
Thank you.
There sure is a lot to do during the holidays. In fact, if you're not careful,
Dave?
You could really work up an appetite.
Boy, I'm hungry.
Luckily, Wendy's has a Big Bacon Classic Combo. A quarter pound of fresh beef, 3 strips of bacon, cheese, lots of toppings, biggie fries, and a 20-ounce drink. A delicious meal.
Like the tree. Here goes. I love the holidays.
Try Wendy's Big Bacon Classic Combo.
Back in Chicago, the Bulls have extended their lead to 94-87. They did so following a Phoenix miss, Chuck.
Yeah, here's a sequence. They get into the pick and roll. Marley comes off, sets up, gets his feet squared, gets a shot. When you miss, here's the rebound. Here they come. Kukoc, a great passer, and no transition defense. You've got to work harder to stop the ball, not to give them the easy fast break opportunity.
Barkley stays on the bench for Phoenix. It's 94-87 with 10 minutes to go. Elliot Perry's back in, so is Danny Manning. And Ruffin is getting a rest. So it's Perry, Marley. There's Marley for 3. Got it.
Yeah, you can see that one all the way. We happen to be right behind you. You can see how he squared it up, toed in, and that was on line. The other ones have kind of wavered a little bit, flown offline, right usually.
Myers and Foster along with Kukoc, Pippen, and Steve Kerr. Blind pass, and Foster is lucky to get that one back. Kukoc, quick move. Oh, boy.
What a move. Scottie Pippen jams the inbound pass, forces a turnover. Here he is on the box, fakes right, comes up and under. One of his patented moves around the box.
Traveling called on Chicago, and Kukoc will inbound the play. 96-90 with 9:22 to go. Kukoc with 16 points now.
So dangerous at the top when he controls the basketball.
8 of 12 from the field for Tony Kukoc. Lead is back to 8. Bulls doing a wonderful job of stemming this Phoenix run over the top. Kukoc, he has fouled, or rather fouls Manning.
Phoenix trying to take advantage. They like Manning on the box against Kukoc, not quite as physical. That time he reached over and collected a foul. We We used to have a saying, first team to 100 wins.
In that case, I like Chicago's chances. Boston wins it tonight. Orlando wins it tonight. Again, that's 8 in a row for them. Charlotte beats Miami 105-87. And earlier, Cleveland defeated the Lakers 117-79. Kukoc picks up his 5th foul. Buechler back in. Manning in the box. Nope.
He hurried the shot. Threw it up quickly.
Pippen. Oh!
Transition defense. Match up. Find a man. Paul Westphal very unhappy. You don't mind getting beat, but to give up an easy one.
"20-second timeout called by the Suns. Well, they climb back to within 1.
Buechler, nobody picked her up. But here's Pippen, position to shoot, almost set himself to shoot, saw the open man, made the quick pass, puts him ahead by 10.
8:35 to go in the ball game, 100-90. Charles Barkley getting ready to check back in. Scottie Pippen for the night, 31 points, 5 assists, 6 rebounds, and 4 steals.
Every category leads this club.
Manning, Barkley, Perry, AC, Green, and Marley. No foul called. And the ball turned over. Here comes Chicago again. Back to Kerr. Five on the shot clock. Offensive rebound, Pete Myers.
That's why they re-signed him. They like his energy.
Perry gives it to Barkley. Passes on the 3. Offensive foul. No. No.
The toughest call in basketball.
Yes.
Fakes him up. He is moving, but Charles banged him pretty good, but you have to give it to the offensive player.
Here's Barkley. Foster. Oh. You think they might go back to that play again?
Yeah, I think they're going to work that one pretty good. They're going to find out what Barkley has down to the last 7.5 minutes here.
First field goal since the first quarter for Barkley. Went out with foul trouble late in that quarter. Here's Kerr. Phoenix again. 100-92 with 7:05 to go. Barkley for 3. Foster with the rebound, taken away by Perry. Bats it down and takes it all the way. Rejected by Foster, who fouls him.
What a hustle play and what courage that he knew he was going to get racked.
They're going to get Foster for taunting.
Personal foul. Greg Foster, his 3rd. The team's
almost in control.
Technical foul on Greg Foster.
Perry gets it loose, hustles to get the ball. He's going to the hole. He sees Foster there, and Foster hammers him.
Perry at the free throw line now, getting ready to shoot.
Technical. Now he's going for the free throws and getting them back in the basketball game at this point.
Perry on the line. 2 shots.
We're at the United Center, the brand new facility in Chicago, just across the street from the old Chicago Stadium. 20,000 plus are here tonight. The 345th consecutive sellout for the Chicago Bulls. Time has been called with 6:55 remaining, and the Bulls up by 6.
So, what's the newest thing from Foot Locker?
Something bad happens to your defense. People get inside of it. They either get fouled or make something good happen. Here's a perfect example. Fakes up. Barkley goes for the steal. Into the lane and gets hammered.
That's the 5th foul on Danny Manning. He'll stay on the floor. And Foster goes to the line.
Rick Foster to the line, 2 shots.
Foster's first free throws tonight. Back to a 7-point edge. 4:55 to go in the game. Bulls trying to get above 500 at 7-6. Manning. Foster. I thought he got the ball. He thought so too.
So often that happens. But the officials are more often right. Might have been some body contact. Getting to the hole. Here he comes. He got a hand in the back, a little body.
Manning at the line, 2 shots.
Some contact. But Manning worked hard to get to the line here.
Danny Manning 1 of 3 from the line. Oh, boy. One of 2 at this trip. 106 to 100, 4:47 to go.
They're going to take Kerr out of the Perry's overplay and try to force him to run their offense through Kukoc, and he gets the step.
Pippen. Green flies at him. Back to Kerr. Isolation play, Kukoc. Green for Phoenix. Perry forces the action. AC Green. Manning with the rebound. Elliott Perry. Pete Myers guards him. Clean block by Pippen.
Charles Barkley, perfect example. I think you want to shoot that ball. I don't think he has the same kind of confidence he normally would, but he made a good pass. Pippen coming from behind. Great defensive play.
(106-100). Just under 4 minutes to go.
He'll work for this one.
106-102. That's only his 2nd field goal since the 1st quarter.
Yeah, I think Charles feels very comfortable there, but a terrific matchup there because Pippen is taking away passing lanes, making it very difficult for him to get the basketball.
Ron Harper and B.J. Armstrong getting ready to come back in for Chicago. Pippen over Green. Oh, boy. Scottie Pippen is 13 of 17 tonight.
And he's going to probably lead his team in almost every category tonight.
Barkley calls for it. There's Pippen on him again. Illegal defense.
Yeah, Kukoc was coming, but too late. They didn't give him time to come. You'll see it. Yeah, Foster, they called Foster below the top of the circle. Wasn't Kukoc at all. Kukoc was coming for the double team.
Elliott Perry at the line. Armstrong, Harper coming back in. Wesley Person will check in for Phoenix. Myers and Kerr will sit down for Chicago, and AC Green sits down for the Phoenix Suns. 109-103, 3:12 to go.
They want Person on the floor because if they get the ball to Barkley, then they'll have a spot-up shooter.
Now it's Foster on Barkley.
Trying to referee.
Oh, he thought he had it. He thought he had it. 5 fouls on Foster.
He really worked to get this, got him up in the air, then faded. Got hit slightly on the arm. Foster unhappy, but he did catch him on the arm.
Barkley only 50% at the free throw line tonight, 6 of 12.
They take on a new dimension at this point in the game, although this is part of the rust is showing, because free throw is part of it, particularly in the fatigue factor.
The Phoenix Suns have missed 13 free throws tonight.
That'll cost you a basketball game, particularly on the road.
24 of 37 from the line. They've had all kinds of opportunities. Chicago's only 14 of 19 from the line. E.J. Armstrong.
Great cut, pass by Pippen, finding him.
They're going to get Barkley.
Yeah, he sealed him off, but he pushed off with his right arm. He's close to getting a technical right here. Bounces the ball like that one more time.
Violation, Phoenix.
Scottie Pippen reacting to the call on Barkley. 111-103, 2:25 to go in the game. Armstrong.
He has not, unless he's been wide open on the baseline, he's really not squaring up his shoulders.
Manning chases it down. Goes for the skip pass to Marley. Pippen way up in the air. 4-on-3. Armstrong. At the other end, Elliott Perry, no. Foster rebound, loses it. Harper has it.
Perry a little bit out of control.
Sloppy but exciting. Armstrong fouled by Barkley.
Got in the lane, had a dish off, decided to take it and try to get fouled. Chicago very patient with their offense. At that point, with the clock in its position, want to get a good shot or at least get to the line.
B.J. Armstrong at the line with the Bulls up by 8, 111-103.
Phoenix only one field goal in the last 350.
Paul Westphal going for his offense now. Ruffin and Ainge come in. And Phil Jackson's going to counter with Pete Myers here in just a second. Myers comes on. Charles Barkley sits down.
Myers returns for the Bulls.
Greg Foster to the bench for Chicago.
I sense that their next practice, Phoenix will be shooting free throws.
But they may not leave tonight until they get out here. Be like the old high school days. Make 100 before you go in. 113-103. Well, the disparity has been at the line where the Suns have missed 13. Ainge. They got Pippen, and he'll shoot 3 free throws.
Got him up in the air.
Personal foul, Scottie Pippen is fourth.
That's a new rule.
You like it?
Yeah, I think it's a good rule.
Danny Ainge to the line to shoot 3.
Have you gotten a sense, Chuck, that the players have adopted a little bit more now? We're almost a month into the season to the new rules, the rule changes.
I think both the officials and the players have adapted. I don't think the officials are calling what we call tic-tac fouls, but they are calling fouling. We're seeing very few problems right now with that phase of it. They're still struggling with the zone defense at the top, but other than that, I think they're adapting, both the officials and the players, very nicely.
Ainge gets one of the first two. You call them tic-tac fouls on television. That's not what you call them at lunch. 1:10 remaining in the game. 113-105. Well, it would appear now Chicago is going to go to 7-6, and Danny Ainge gets called for the foul. That'll send Ron Harper to the line.
Personal foul, Danny Ainge.
I would say Phil Jackson has to be very happy. They took that long trip, and they came out of it better than they did actually a year ago. They were 5-7. Now they were 6-6 coming back, getting this win tonight. Got some homestands, some games in the East. Phoenix, one of the longer trips, 13 days. In the old days, when we used to play out west and play both teams twice, we used to take a lot of 13 and 14-day trips. It's rare that you see that now, and that wears on players. But this club, Phoenix, is good enough to come back and get their share of wins on this trip.
They're going to go 1-1 on the road trip. They've lost 4 games now, giving this one to Chicago, and all 4 have come on the road. At Sacramento, at Utah. And they're going to lose this one, it would appear, with 1:04 remaining. They are down by 9. 114-105. 64 seconds to go.
Before you thought to dream, Cannon had a vision. Before you have a problem, Cannon has the solution. We have a way of looking ahead to give your office unlimited possibilities right now. When the rest say you can't, Cannon says you can. Cannon. Now you can.
The work week. It's where we meet the world in full stride, with a week full of jobs and a truck full of opportunities.
Bulls lead it by 9 with 64 seconds to go. 20,414 are here tonight.
All happy customers?
Yes, indeed.
I doubt if we have many Phoenix people here on the road. Playoffs you do, not regular.
No, you know, if I live in Chicago, in Phoenix, I'm not going to come to Chicago for a game in November.
I doubt it.
It was nippy out there today, was it not?
The breeze off the lake, as they say.
Yeah. New meaning to in your face. 114-105, Person for 3, no. Picked up by Scottie Pippen, who has just had a terrific ball game.
He is really having a great year. This club can come on and win enough games. He will again be a candidate for MVP because, you know, it's interesting to me in the New York area, you get a lot of talk shows. They always question what Scottie Pippen is all about, why he is this player. But you see him play. He does so much. And they have 2 of them. He and Kukoc both have those kind of abilities, multi-dimensional players. I don't know about that free throw. We just talked about that one.
Well, that's contagious tonight. Although, all in all, Chicago hasn't been that deficient. They're 18 of 24. At the other end, here's Ainge. Myers, loose ball, Kukoc. Foul by Trevor Ruffin. 49 seconds to go.
Personal foul, Trevor Ruffin, his second.
The Bulls are at home now for 4 games. This is the first of a 4-game set. Their longest road trip is in the pocket. They finished 3-3 on that trip. And Chicago continues to have success against Phoenix here in the Windy City. Suns have won only 2 of their last 11 trips here. Scottie Pippen, replaced by Judd Bushley.
Game in hand. Just get him out of there, not get him hurt. Don't take a chance.
35 points on 13 of 17 from the field and a defensive gem as well. The lead, 116-105. Kukoc, Bushler. And the Chicago Bulls will wind down the final 30 seconds. They led by 10 at the half. They trailed in the first quarter, but it was a defensive switch when Scottie Pippen began to guard Charles Barkley. That turned this thing around, and then Chicago has another turnover. And Myers gets two.
Yeah, you're right. That was a big decision. They probably had it in their pocket all night, waited to go to it.
Final 3 seconds. This one's over. 118 to 105.
The Phoenix Suns 105. Metropolitan Life names the Bulls player of the game at each Bulls home game. Tonight,
Pippen with 35 points.
Scottie Pippen scoring 35 points.
And he is our Budweiser player of the game. Scottie Pippen is making his way over to us. 35 points, 5 steals, 9 rebounds, 2 blocks, 6 assists, 13 of 17 from the field. All in all, more than just an average night. But Scottie, it's interesting that we'll get him wired up and ready to go. It's interesting that in most ball games you can't point at a specific moment and say that's when it started to change. But tonight, Chuck and I both noted that when you made the switch and went to guard Barkley defensively, it had a big impact.
Well, I knew Charles, he really had the rookie on him. He was going to try to take advantage of him offensively as much as he could. And I just wanted to kind of give us a defensive presence on him where we wouldn't let him just kind of pick us apart. You know, once you get Charles going, he started to find his three-point shooters. And they're a tough team, so I wanted to stop that early.
Did Phil have that in his pocket going into the game to make that move, or is that something you just knew?
I'll tell you the truth, it was something that I did. I kind of made the switch. I wanted Tony to guard the 3 guy and put Greg on the 4, and that way I could get out and guard Barkley because he was really damaging us again in the game.
Scottie, how do you feel about this club at this point? You got a lot of new faces. A lot of people left you. You're not running your offense quite as sharp. Puts more pressure on you, I think, with the ball.
Well, it's a different situation than what it's been in the past for me. I mean, it's tough, but, you know, I'm just trying to be patient and bring these guys along. I think we got a good ball club. If we just play smart and play together, I think we got an opportunity to make our system work.
Was this one of the bigger games for you early in the season?
I think it was. I think tonight was a game where, you know, it was a challenge. We realized that Phoenix is a very potent team. They got a lot of different weapons. And, you know, if we can come out and play well against a team like that, I think it says a lot about us.
Scottie, I know that it's a different team. Phoenix is a different team, but it was a year ago tonight, as I'm sure you remember, a very big night for this ball club, and it really was a propulsion for the rest of the year.
It was. It was a big lift for us. You know, I was coming back off the injury list, and it was a big lift for us, and I think it took our season off, you know, on a great start from there. So hopefully tonight was another example of that.
Congratulations. Just a terrific all-around game.
All right.
Scottie Pippen with 35 points tonight. And our final was 118 to 105 right now. Let's go back to Atlanta. Fred Hickman and Dick Mercedes.
And thank you very much. That's your ball game, 118 to 105. The Bulls have won over the Suns. Fred Hickman, Dick Mercedes back here in Atlanta with the old post-game show, and a pretty good ball game by the Bulls tonight.
Well, never discount the pride in that organization. 3 championships, the vestiges of the championships are still within the organization and certainly beating in the chest of Mr. Scottie Pippen.
Yeah, he's got those 3 rings and he wants some more, doesn't he? Well, let's get you up to speed on the other ball games going on around the NBA tonight. And the first stop is Boston, the Celtics and the Pistons. Eric Montross, the Rook, blocking Grant Hill, but then the favor is returned by Oliver Miller. Mark Macon the other way, alley-oop to Hill for the jam. But what about John Long's nephew?
Yeah, John Long's nephew, Terry Mills, 3 threes in less than a minute. Bang, bada bing, bada boom.
And that's the one, those are the shots that got Detroit back into the game. But here, good defense by David Wesley, who makes Johnny Dawkins give up the ball. And you see Mark Macon wasn't ready for it, could not get the shot to get off. So Boston goes on to win it 118 to 115. Mills, 37 points and 9 boards. Joe Dumars held only 3 points on the night. Now the Lakers and the Cavaliers. Head coach Del Harris working on a 5-game winning streak. But here, watch as Phils comes up with a steal, and he needs no help. He goes coast to coast, not bothered by that bad uniform. 70 to 51 Cavs in the third. Now Anthony Peeler for 3, drills it. Cavaliers, though, up 93 to 70. And then Michael Cage, monster jam. He slung it from the hip. 102 to 72 Cavs there. This was never close. 117 to 79. Cleveland's biggest win ever over the Lakers. The Cavaliers now lead the Central Division all by themselves. To Orlando for the Magic and the Kings. Anthony Avent with a big bump. Hardaway starts the transition, flip it back to Shaq, who left no question about it. Now, for the other guys, the Sacramento Kings, Mitch Richmond on fire, hits the three before the half to bring the Kings as close as they would come. But here,
Fred, watch the element, the defense that Horace Grant gives, and pretty as a penny. They named Pasta after him.
Penny Pasta. I did not know that. Shaquille O'Neal with the big move up the middle there as Orlando goes on to win a 114-107. Orlando's 8th consecutive win, which is a new franchise record. Shaq an average 41-point night, 21 in the first half. To Charlotte for the Hornets and the Heat. Alonzo Mourning saying, "This is my house, Kevin Willis. Don't give me any lip." First quarter, Hersey Hawkins with a pinch. Muggsy Bogues back in the lineup tonight, gets it to LJ, Larry Johnson for the layup, hacked in the act, an 11-2 run for the Hornets. Second quarter, Scott Burrell with the good D. Muggsy, LJ, that's easy. Hornets up big. But watch Mourning here with the hook.
I love this. Watch it, Fred. A space maker, a jump hook from 10 feet out. Awesome.
He talked to him early in the game and hooked him late. LJ, 23 points, 10 boards, 9 assists, missed the triple-double by 1 gimme. Elsewhere, it is very early in Seattle. The Seattle Supersonics going for their 6th win in 7 starts. But Dick, before we go, we'd be remiss if we did not show you one key play from that Hornets game tonight.
Well, let's do the play-by-play on this play because it's quite interesting. After the game was over, here's Alonzo Mourning leaving, gives a little 5 to a kid, and then flips him very warmly his wristband. But look at the guy there stealing the wristband from the kid. This is cold-blooded. Look at this. Oh, the poor kid, the look on his face.
I know, he just snatched it.
Could that have been the guy's father, maybe?
I don't know, but hey, come on, Dad, cut it out. Anyway, say goodnight, Dick.
Good night. Good night, Dick. Good night, Fred.
We'll see you next Thursday when we bring you the Hornets in Houston, and no wristbands will be stolen there, I'm sure. I'm Fred Hickman. And he's Dick Versace. May God bless you, and may all your jumpers hit nothing but the bottom of the net. We'll go back to Chicago in a moment.
Final score at the United Center in Chicago. The Bulls go to 7-6 for the season. They knock off the Phoenix Suns 118-105. They led by 10 at the half. And then Scottie Pippen really put it in gear in the second half. Chuck.
At the top of the show, we talked about it. Leads in all categories. Did it again tonight. Look at those numbers.
He had 35 points, 13 of 17 from the field, 9 rebounds, 6 assists, and 5 steals. The one thing that did not go well really for either team tonight was free throw shooting.
Yeah, they struggled at the line, but hey, the team that wins doesn't even think about it. The other club's going to go think about it and look at the stat sheet.
118-105. Phoenix got within 1 in the second half, but then fell behind. NBA action continues Friday on TNT when the New York Knicks take on the Orlando Magic at 8 o'clock. Ron Thulin, Doug Collins down in Orlando for that game. Join us next Thursday at 8 o'clock for the NBA on TBS. Chuck and I down in Houston as the Charlotte Hornets take on the Houston Rockets. That's an 8 o'clock start Eastern time. Stay tuned next for Goldfinger starring Sean Connery. 118-105 was our final here. Scottie Pippen led the way. For Chuck Daly, this is Vern Lundquist saying good night from the United Center in Chicago.
With his head coach. He must shoot at least 50% from the field, 78% from the stripe, be among the top 5 in steals and top 10 in assists. It's early, but right now Gary Payton is losing across the board. The Spurs in town. How would Gary do early on? He gets a little help from his bench. Off the bench, Rooney to Vince Askew. Off the bench to Gary Payton, who makes a pretty move and gets it to go. Sonics up 8 in the first. Spurs try to come back in the second. The Admiral, the little D, J.R. Reed gives chase. Robinson all the way down the other end will get it back for the slam. He had 23 and a half, but still the Sonics led by 14. To the second half, the Admiral is a one-man show, trying his best to keep San Antonio in it. Nobody could stop him. He finished with 9 boards. But Seattle on the break. They do this better than any team in the game. Kendall, the rain man who rains down on the Spurs. The fans there love it. Good night for Gary Payton as the bet goes. He hit on 9 of 17 from the field, 3 of 3 from the stripe, and a team-high 6 assists. Robinson was immense. Bob Hill said David was, quote, all world out there. Why? A season-high 42. Kemp and Gill also in double digits for these Sonics. Game 2 of 7 away from home for Phoenix in Chicago. How would Jeremy Roenick handle Charles? Nobody would. He hit his first 3, had 15 in the first quarter.
Pretty good move.
Star in this one, Scottie Pippen. Tells Charles, don't come into my home. Pushes Elliott Perry out of the way, and the Bulls take advantage. BJ, open from the foul line, gets it to drop. He had 12, and a 2-point Chicago lead would grow. Scottie on offense, like Mike, hangs and hits. He had 20 in the first half. Bulls by 10 at the break. Ron Harper blocks Barkley, and the Bulls go the other way. Scottie gets the finger roll on the other end, and the Bulls up by as many as 16. Charles goes to the bench, simply ran out of gas. Trevor Ruffin for 3 had 11. The Suns within 1. Pete Myers, Greg Foster. He played 33 minutes and scored 16 points. And the Bulls win it going away. Scottie's other numbers to go with the 35 points, 9 boards, all defensive, 6 assists, all offensive. He also made 5 steals. Every Sun except Charles is forgiven. Barkley says, quote, you can blame this one on me. The Magic get Dennis Scott off the injured list, hosting the Kings. He played 5 minutes, missed 2 shots. The Shaq attack. He scored the Magic's first 13 points. The bottom line is get it to the big man. Let him work. Ho Grant does that. So does Penny. Penny had 11 assists. Shaq had 29 first-half points. And Gary St. Jean said, Shaq reminds me of Wilt Chamberlain. At the half, the Magic up 14. Then on the break, Penny gets his 2 cents in. Off the wrong foot, off the wrong hand, and it looked all right to everybody there. Then off the steal, Ho Grant to Hardaway. Watch the pretty spin and the flush in the final by 7, 114-107. You got to go back to the first quarter, though. Shaq hit 7 of 8.